Massive flooding at Burning Man. How's it going, guys? Welcome to One Woke Thoughts. Tonight, we're going to be talking about this absolute disaster of an event, Burning Man in Black Rock City, Nevada, that makes Fyre Festival look like a five-star hotel. Now, I looked up this event on Twitter just to get some of the most recent news on it, and this was my favorite tweet that I found. The tweet read, "Burning Man, local authorities have declared the event a disaster with 5,000 VCs, venture capitalists, I assume, and 65,000 registered Democrats trapped in Black Rock City. Biden is under pressure to declare the event a national disaster." Now, this right here is some of the scenes within Burning Man that is happening right now on the ground. And as you can see, there are tents just set up in this soupy mess. This is in Nevada, so if it rains, you should expect mud everywhere. But tens of thousands of attendees at the Burning Man Festival in Nevada are stranded due to the storms that hit the area. Organizers have closed all vehicle access, and attendees are stuck in the muddy conditions, some even walking miles to the nearest town. I even saw a report of DJ Diplo and Chris Rock walking miles through the mud. I guess the authorities are investigating a possible death even, but the details are a little bit limited right now from what I have been able to see. But I can't play the sound on this video because it has a song that would copyright strike my video. But despite these challenges, the attendees are making the most of the situation, apparently, from what I've read. And apparently there's an ethos at this Burning Man festival, something I did not know about until I started reading these articles about the Burning Man Festival. And I guess this ethos emphasizes community and self-reliance, and organizers of this festival. And it's really funny. This festival kind of reminds me of the Fyre Festival, except it doesn't seem like this is really the fault of the organizers. It just turned into this absolute mess. But they are working on logistics, such as providing cell phone trailers for communication and organizing shuttle buses to Reno, the event which emphasizes self-sufficiency. Like I said, there's an ethos, very important, apparently, with this festival. This event was supposed to end on Labor Day, but remains paused due to the weather conditions. I don't know, it seems to me, from what I'm reading, since no one's able to really leave in their vehicles, most are just stuck there. It's not paused. It's just a exciting little hiccup in this event. The vehicle movement rather is restricted, affecting amenities like portable toilets, and key events like the burning of the wooden effigy have been postponed. Now that just sounds like an absolute disaster right there. I mean, toilets, just mud everywhere, just dirty conditions, wet conditions. I would be absolutely going nuts. I would probably just start hoofing it. I'd start walking to get anywhere other than in this area with tens of thousands of people. And like I said earlier, I believe that's what DJ Diplo did. And Chris Rock, they started walking to get away from the tens of thousands of people at this festival. The festival has faced disruptions in the past, including temporary closures due to dust storms, but this is the opposite of dust storms. This is a rainstorm/flooding and cancellations during the pandemic it has seen. But let's get into this article, guys. This is by the Associated Press, and this cover photo here shows what the Burning Man Festival looks like. It looks like all of these RVs and campers and vehicles are kind of spread out in a horseshoe shape around this kind of circular area. And I'm just kind of assuming here, this is where the wooden effigy of the Burning Man is set on fire at the end of this festival. But this article reads, tens of thousands of people gathered for the Burning Man Festival remain stranded in the Nevada desert on Sunday after storms that swept through the area as authorities investigated a possible death and worked to open exit paths by the end of the Labor Day weekend. Organizers closed vehicular access to the Counterculture Festival, and attendees trudged through mud, many barefoot or wearing plastic bags on their feet. Revelers were urged to shelter in place and conserve food, water, and other supplies. Most remain hunkered down, hoping roads open as early as Monday, though a few managed to walk several miles to the nearest town. Celebrity DJ Diplo posted a video to Instagram on Sunday evening, or on Saturday evening rather, showing him and comedian Chris Rock riding in the back of a fan's pickup truck. He said they had walked 6 miles through the mud before hitching a ride. Very interesting. I legit walked the side of the road for hours with my thumb out, wrote Diplo. Could you imagine? You're driving along, you just have a normal day, and assuming you know who DJ Diplo is, just driving along, you look to the side, and you see Chris Rock and DJ Diplo trying to hitchhike on the side of the road. You would probably not believe your eyes for a second. But Diplo says, I legit walked the side of the road for hours with my thumb out, wrote Diplo, whose real name is Thomas Wesley Pence. Oh, that reminds me of Mike Pence. I cannot stand that guy. But I won't hold him again. I won't hold it against Diplo. I don't know much about this musician. The Counterculture Gathering. It's interesting how they spell counterculture here. They spell counter and culture, and they put the words together. I wonder why. In Black Rock Desert, about 110 miles north of Reno, typically attracts nearly 80,000 artists, musicians, and activists who spend tens of millions of dollars in Nevada, combining wilderness camping with avant-garde performances at a Mardi Gras-like celebration. The event typically goes for a week and emphasizes self-sufficiency. Like I said earlier, there's this ethos that surrounds this event, and one of those is self-sufficiency, specifically, meaning most people bring in their own food, water, and other supplies. Disruptions are nothing new to the festival. Organizers had to temporarily halt entrances to the festival in 2018 due to dust storms, and the event was twice canceled altogether during the pandemic. So apparently this event, just like many other things, fun things, businesses, lives, were canceled during the COVID-19 pandemic. Those who remained Sunday described a resilient community making the most of the muddy conditions that have made it difficult to walk or even bike around Burning Man. Many posted selfies of themselves covered in mud, dancing or splashing in the makeshift lakes. Well, at least some of them are making the most of the situation. I myself would be just dying to get out of there. Honestly, we're having a great time, Teresa Galini, who is at Burning Man and expected to be there for the rest of the week, said. We have not witnessed any negativity, any rough times, she said. Some people were supposed to leave a few days ago, so they're out of water or food. But I am an organizer, so I went around and found more water and food. There is more than enough here for people. We just have to get it to everyone. So hopefully these people will be all right. Hopefully there's enough food and water to last as long as this situation plays out. Ed Fletcher of Sacramento, a longtime Burning Man attendee, arrived in Black Rock City over a week ago to start setting up. When the rain hit, he and his campmates threw a party and danced the night away in their muddy shoes. Sounds like a blast. Radical self-reliance is one of the principles. Sorry, I use the term ethos, but I guess it's a principle. It's one of the principles. I wonder what the other principles of Burning Man are, but he said it's one of the principles of Burning Man. Burning Man has always been a little bit about the struggle, and that's probably why some of these, tech millionaires go there, because they want to experience some sort of struggle in their life, correct? The desert will try to kill you in some way, shape, or form. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office said a death happened during the event, but offered few details as the investigation continued, including the identity of the deceased person or the suspected cause of death, KNSD TV reported. Now, on Twitter, I follow all sorts of accounts. I have seen some tweets about people going into Burning Man, the surrounding area, in white suits. I've seen other tweets about there being some sort of disease that has been spread in parts of this large camp. Now, I don't know if these are substantiated by anything legitimate, but I'm just putting that out there. for what it's worth, if you guys want to look more into that. On their website, organizers encouraged participants to remain calm and suggested that the festival is built to endure conditions like the flooding. They said cell phone trailers were being dropped in several locations Saturday night, and that they would be briefly opening up internet overnight. Shuttle buses were also being, let's just pause here for a second. Can you imagine being without internet for several days? Myself, I couldn't imagine at all. But back to the article. Shuttle buses were also being organized to take attendees to Reno from the nearest town of Gerlach. They walk about 5 miles. Man, I would be walking those 5 miles to get away from this soupy mess and these tens of thousands of people. I would not want to be anywhere near it. Burning Man is a community of people who are prepared to support one another. We have come here knowing this is a place where we bring everything we need to survive, the organizers said in a statement. It is because of this we are well prepared for a weather event like this. Now, of course, this is one of the organizers, so they are probably going to do everything they can to put on a brave face and seem optimistic about this unfortunate event. But the vehicle gates will not open for the remainder of the event, which began on August 27th and was scheduled to end Monday, according to the U.S. Bureau of Land Management, which oversees the Black Rock Desert where the festival is being held. More than 1/2 inch of rain is believed to have fallen on Friday. Now, this probably doesn't sound like a whole lot to you, a 1/2 inch, who cares? But you got to realize this rain is falling on desert ground. And desert ground is made up of what? Dirt, dust. There's not a whole lot of, grass there. So this is turning it into just absolute boggy ground. But more than 1/2 inch of rain is believed to have fallen on Friday at the festival site. The National Weather Service in Reno said at least another 1/4 inch of rain is expected Sunday. The Reno Gazette-Journal reported organizers started rationing ice sales and that all vehicle traffic at the sprawling festival grounds had been stopped, leaving portable toilets unable to be serviced. Ugh. Officials said late Saturday, the entrance to the event remained closed and it wasn't immediately known when celebrants could leave the grounds. No driving is allowed except for emergency vehicles, and organizers said they didn't have a time yet when the roads would be dry enough for RVs or vehicles to navigate safely. But if weather conditions improve, they were hopeful vehicles could depart by late Monday. The announcement came just before the culminating moment for the annual event when a large wooden effigy was to be burned on Saturday night. Organizers said late Saturday that all burns for now have been postponed. So this absolutely sounds awful, guys. I guess some of the organizers there, or some of the attendees there, probably mostly the organizers, are making the best out of this event. Article talks about them splashing in lakes and having mud fights or whatever the case. But it sounds like absolute disaster, kind of like the Fire Festival, like I said. But it doesn't seem like this is something that is the fault of the organizers. It's just so happened to be a bad time to schedule this event due to this rain randomly falling on the festival. But what do you guys think about all this? Would you want to be trapped at this Burning Man festival? Have you been to Burning Man? I myself have not. The only festival that I have ever attended was ACL, or Austin City Limits, when I was a student at the University of Texas. Do you think there's anything to these weird theories that possibly there is some sort of disease spreading within the festival grounds? This is something that I've read on Twitter because I like to scour the deep, dark corners of Twitter to see what people are saying about stuff like this. If you could please put your comment down below. Let me know what you have heard. Like and share this video. Follow my page. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one.